Sending over. All right. Hi, everyone. Today we're doing a live show for our book club, the Polyamory Plothole. Today's live show is about A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson.
Yes.
That's the author. We're meant to have KJ joining us, but she took a nap and she's running a bit late. So I'm going to keep bugging her in our group chat. But we're just getting started.
Is anyone like? What can we tell if someone joins?
I can on my end. I don't think you can on your end.
Okay.
So it's hosting on my channel. So feel free to put a hello in the comments, and we will chat with you while we wait for KJ.
Is anyone here?
I have one person on the list. I don't know who it is. It just tells me like one person watching on my channel.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. So introduce yourself in the live chat while I bug KJ.
Kara's just yelling at KJ to wake up.
Yeah. Excuse me, puppy. That's not for you. Oh, Erin, hi. No, it's happening. It's happening. Just KJ's not waking up. We are here. I'm pretty sure, Erin, have you read A Dowry of Blood, or have you just? I'll pop up with. Or have you just planned to read it? 'Cause I remember you talking to me about it at some point.
Oh yeah, is this like gonna be like spoiler free?
I thought we'd just see where we go. Oh, she says sorry I'm here, so she should be coming up in a second. I'm going to take this as yep, you've read it. I told my friend Paige, who should be coming, that like my thought was she was like she hasn't read it, but she was interested. And I was like, I can't think of too much that we would be talking about that would be incredibly spoilery, like ruin your experience. So I was like, join in if you have time.
Is talking about the ending a spoiler?
I don't know.
Or do people want to know like what kind of ending it is, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I know I would personally want to know that kind of thing. Like if it's like a happily ever after or a happy for now, you know.
Okay, just says she'll be on in 3 minutes or less. So should we think? Yes, Erin, Sheba and Shelves is based kind of near me, other side of the country from me, but like in my time zone. And she is with me with every live because she loves me. I love you too, Erin. Did you finish it last night for the live show, or did you just coincidentally happen to be reading it last night? That was my thought exactly. Like, it's not reveal based, so it doesn't feel super spoilery.
Yeah.
Oh, I should bug Paige. What am I doing? That's not right. Chat. Oh. Mika, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, I'm glad we could convince you to read it in a timely manner. Oh, who else is here? Someone else just joined. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. We're just waiting for KJ, who should be coming any minute. keeping an eye on the backstage. Hi!
A new person.
A new person. Welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. I'm Cara. This is Dylan. And KJ is on her way. So she'll be here soon, I'm sure. What kind of stuff do you normally read? Is this outside the realm of normal for you or well within your normal range?
Honestly, I'd love to read more stuff like this, like gothic, historical, vampires. I want more vampire polycules romance.
Is Hunger Pangs also vampires?
It has a vampire, a disabled werewolf, and a witch, I believe. I'm like halfway through it. But I got in a reading slump, so I haven't finished it. But it's really good so far. Yeah.
It does look good. And was that the one that the author offered like a steamy version and a light version? You could pick which one you got.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I think I want to do that when I eventually make my thing.
Yeah, that would be such an awesome thing to do.
Because on one side, like, I really like writing and reading the really raunchy stuff, but also it could just, like, without it, it could be really sweet and fluffy and nothing.
Yeah, and I want like sex averse people to still be able to enjoy it.
And none of the plot hinges on it. It's just there for fun.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, if you continue to join us in our little book club, we might introduce you to some other things. I will say Thorn Fruit, which we're reading this month, for whenever we have the live show for the polyamory, is less apparent in book one, but it
the third the third character doesn't even come in until book 2. The first one is female, and then the non-binary gender fluid male love interest comes in book 2. I love him so much.
So we will be continuing the series across probably the next like 6 months or so.
Yeah. I've already read all 3, so I'll just be like cheering you guys on. Woo!
Yeah, woo! But there's plenty of stuff on the list that all of us have, or one of each of us has read already. So we will be going through things. Like if we read, why is my brain just saying the bees book? But it's wasps. It's not even about bees. It's about wasps.
Wasps?
The horror one with the dual timeline. It's really thick.
Dual timeline. What? My mind is like blank right now.
It follows the 3 actresses, and they're like playing the characters in the horror movie, and it has the horror perspective. Like, why am I blanking on the name? I loved the book, but I'm not going to reread it if we read it. I would just go into the lounge. What's it called? Why am I blanking? My shelf is like too far away to look.
I'm so confused right now.
What's it called? What's it called? Plain Bad Heroines. Yes. Thank you, Erin.
I had no idea what that one was really about. So
yeah, it's so good. I really liked it.
Yeah,
but
is that one like a female?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Is it YA or adult?
Adult, but probably new adultish.
Cool. Kind of. That's awesome. Yeah, I want more.
Yeah, like young, but in the adult end, not like grown ass adult. We also have someone else in the chat. If you've just joined, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. So they may have left again. I don't know. People come and go.
People joining. Woo.
But yeah, I read Plain Bad Heroines last year, though it seems very divisive because my friend April read it recently and hated it. So
Yeah, I
I
very
don't know.
rarely hate books. Sometimes I'm just kind of like about them, but hating them
I
doesn't
think she was just
happen.
very meh. But
It's about wasps, you said?
kind of the horror element pictures wasps.
Okay. Oh, it's horror. Oh, I love horror.
It's like so the kind of whole premise is that there's a historical timeline that had some horror stuff happening, and two girls died by being stung to death by wasps,
Oh,
and they had a little romance thing going on. And then in the present timeline, they're making a movie about it, and then the actors playing the characters in the movie have a little romance going on.
oh, that sounds
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's really cool.
Wait, so for oh wait, so next month's or this month's book is
This month it's gone through,
already decided,
and we've picked next month's. Yeah, so we picked
which is
August, which is the space one.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I like picked that one up a while ago and tried reading it, and I was like, I don't think this is my thing. But now that I know it's like polyamorous, and that one of the like kind of romances is like a sentient spaceship, that just sounds so interesting. I had no idea it was even sapphic at all. Like that's awesome. I'm really interested.
I had it like loosely on my Scribd TBR, like on my Scribd saves, but didn't know much about it. And then I saw someone talking about it recently and added it to my list of like.
I feel like it happens a lot where there's this book and I know of it, but I have no idea that it's like queer or polyamorous, and I found out like way later, and I'm like, why am I just finding out now? Gosh.
Especially when I feel like all anyone needs to do to sell a book to me is tell me it's queer in some description, and I'll probably want to read it. So why didn't you tell me? I would have wanted to read it. KJ, hurry up. It's been more than 3 minutes.
Is she even awake? Have we had contact with her?
In the group chat.
Okay.
She said, I'll be there in 3 minutes or less. But it has been more than 3 minutes since she said that. We will eventually talk about the book that is the plot of the show.
But while we're waiting,
we are literally.
Yeah.
I was going to say we're literally the definition of what happened to the original plot of the movie. Have you seen that meme? I spent too much time on TikTok. What were you going to say?
I forgot. We could just So
Oh, here's KJ.
Oh, cool.
I'm jumping you straight in, buddy. You're in.
Hi, I am so sorry. I slept through 3 alarms.
Yeah, 3. I feel you. That's what happens to me when I try to nap.
We were saying we would not have risked a nap.
I'm so tired. We went to the zoo and I was there for 6 hours, and I'm just like,
the zoo.
I'm tired.
Yeah, that sounds exhausting.
Yeah. So I'm here though. I'm ready. Woo! I listened to the audiobook for the second time today, so like I'm prepared.
Awesome.
Is it a zoo appropriate audiobook?
I listened to it after we got back from the zoo. No. I wouldn't have chanced it.
I would have funny though. Okay, we have done like a loose introduction, and Maddie and Erin, who are in the chat, have introduced themselves. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment.
Okay. Hi everybody, I'm KJ. I am late. Sorry. I am in EST, so it's midnight here. What else? I don't have anything uploaded on my booktube because I'm me, and I'm a mental health therapist, so I have kind of that I can give into what we're talking about. And yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Yeah. Yep. I don't have a booktube. I mean, I kind of tried to do it at like the beginning of COVID, and I was kind of like about it. Maybe I'll try it again. I don't know. I have a blog. geez, what's it called? I've changed it so many times. I think it's Dylan Reads Books or something. You can find me on Twitter at Beck Reads Books or the Bookish Beck or something like that. And I have all my links linked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you follow me on Twitter, you can find my blog. I posted fairly recently. I posted something last month, like it was books with bisexual rep, male female books with bisexual rep, and that was my first blog post since like September of last year. But yay, I finally posted something again. So
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm Cara, and I am mainly on YouTube because I never use my Twitter. I'm there lurking, but I never use it for actual content. But I am normally here on YouTube, but I am submitting my thesis in like 2 months, so I am taking like a kind of hiatus, and only posting like a handful of stuff. But you can find me here, and this is on my channel, so if you're here, you can subscribe to me through this. And I normally have all my socials in my video descriptions when I remember, but I am trash, so it doesn't always happen. And we all consider ourselves relevant to this topic because we are all, as a whole, polyamorous to a degree. So that's us.
Yep.
Yeah. I read this book like way too long ago. KJ, who has just read the book for the second time, should start off our discussion.
So, what did you guys rate it overall? Because I gave it, at first, when I read it the first time, I gave it a 5-star, but then going back and reading it the second time, I ended up dropping it down to a 4-star.
I think like 4.5. Like I liked the ending, but also I don't know. Is this spoilery to say like what kind of ending it is? Should I not say?
Spoiler alert for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's not a sad ending. It's like happy in its own way, but it's not like a happily ever after. It's not a romance. It's not a romance ending, which I prefer. But that's just preference. I still thought it was a really good book overall. I just felt like it was, I mean, aside from the no HEA, I felt like I just wanted more. Like it was too short. But that was really like my only issue with it. Because I really liked the way it was written. Like it kind of like second person-ish, which I don't see a lot. And I really liked all the characters, especially Alexei. That's his name, right? I'm not getting it wrong. Alexei?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I didn't know either until I listened to the audiobook.
Yeah. He was sweet. I loved him. Yeah.
I think
4.5.
I think so. I have learned over the past like 4 or 5 months that I'm more motivated by plot. And while this does have a plot, I feel like it's more of a character study of the three spouses than it is anything else. And so the second time I was reading through, I was like, I love the atmosphere and everything. So that's why it was as high as a 4, but you know what's going to happen from the very beginning. And so there was nothing really plot-wise to compel me through. So
yeah, like at least with the plot elements, it is really like clearly laid out from the get-go what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I am like so less dependent on plot than you, KJ, and I was just like, yes, living in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the vibes. Like the vibes were impeccable, but I found myself getting bored like halfway through.
I do think that what I was lacking for it was like I wanted more moments. Like it just
I wanted more of like the triad moments.
Yeah. Like I liked what I got, but I feel like it could have been longer and had more. Yeah. And I would have still been just as like happy and satisfied.
More kissing.
Yeah.
I did. I don't know if either of you guys signed up for Saints, the author, her bed.
Yeah. She was going to send up like an exit or like a epilogue or something.
To just be like a little extra epilogue. I haven't got it yet, but I'm signed up and I'm very excited because I feel like that might give me what I want.
Oh, so I don't know if I'm signed up. Can you only get it if you're signed up?
I don't know, but if I get it, I will.
The end was the best. The end was the best part for me. I really love the ending, and
it was a good ending. Yeah.
Yeah, it made me cry. Like I definitely teared up at that ending. I was like, oh, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
think-
oh, this is happy, but also, oh, don't separate. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dylan, the hard part recommending books for you is you want the happily ever after, but also like not just a contemporary romance setting a lot of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Is so at odds. No authors want to do like interesting settings and then not end in a moment of tension. They're like, no, give you the tension.
Yeah, I loved it. It totally pulled at my heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you guys, which was your favorite character?
Alexi. Yeah.
I think I liked best the other girl. What was her name?
Yeah, I can't remember her name either. It's
God, I just read this today and I can't remember.
Constanza's the main character.
Constanta, Alexei, Dracula, and
the other girl is my favorite.
Yeah.
I am very bad. I did plug my iPad in to get it charging so I could flick through, but it will not charge for the life of it.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because my favorite is Constanza.
I mean, yeah, she's a great main character.
Yeah.
Magdalena, that's it. Thank you, Maddie.
Oh.
Yes. That was what I was trying to say. And Erin, both of you were on it way better than me.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, got it. Here you go. Me.
Oh.
Like, I just resonated with her a lot, I think. Like, I thought she was fun.
I definitely resonated with Constance. Constance is what I'm going to call her because that's what Alexi called her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier.
And I do kind of agree with Erin that like they all resonated really well and felt like full characters, not like
I loved
silhouettes of characters.
I loved how Constance she like kind of had this really interesting relationship with God and her religion in that like she didn't know if she believed or not, but she still, because she had nothing else kind of in life, turned to religion, and that was really an interesting, like, to be where she is at in her relationships and in her life, to still turn to God was really an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been why I connected with her less, because I like Australia is like less religious than America as a whole.
Yeah, I'm not very religious.
I'm not religious either, but there are definitely, like, I was raised Southern Baptist, and there are moments where I'm just like, oh my God, and like when the worst of the worst is happening, when like I fall back on it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand.
Yeah.
I don't think I was really raised religious either, so it doesn't, like, I don't have that same connection. Like, I didn't
church, that's it.
Yeah.
A little
We
bit.
never even went to church.
Like it was just once a week too, just like Sunday, that was it.
Yeah, I think I was technically christened as Protestant, but like I don't know any, like we never did anything.
Yeah.
None of it.
And
so
now I'm more like spiritual, I guess. I'm into like witchcraft, like paganism and stuff like that.
I'm like a staunch atheist now, but I definitely remember kind of in my youth when I didn't know what I believed, like when things got rough, even though I was like, I'm definitely an atheist, I would fall back and be like,
yeah, I thought I was atheist or agnostic for a while.
Yeah.
Alexei was my favorite character. I mean, just really simple reason. I just like soft boys. I feel like there aren't a lot of them in books and romances, and he was soft, and so that's why.
He was a cutie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was the other book you read? Out of curiosity. Erin, if you don't know Erin very well, Erin reads a lot of really weird stuff. She's my go-to for weird recommendations. And she's always got some weird book I've never heard of on her list.
So how did you guys think about the polyrep?
Well, so I was confused, like going in, like the way the author described it, I thought there was like a quad and then Dracula. So I thought there was going to be another male interest, love interest aside from Dracula and Alexei. So I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't know Dracula was the fourth one. I thought he wasn't included because he's, like the bad guy, sort of.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting take. I think what has me so, like, not necessarily uncomfortable, but just like how they would refer to themselves as sisters and like
Oh, yeah.
mother-daughter or mother-son and all that. And then they would have the sexual relationships. It was like, it wasn't super uncomfortable, but it was like,
Yeah.
Okay, just get it back to the she read in the Ravenous Dark recently too.
I wasn't a huge fan of it in the Ravenous Dark.
I still want to read it. I'm still really curious.
I want to read it. I mean, I saw some tweets about it that made me kind of nervous that I don't know what kind of ending it'll be. So I kind of want to ask some people who've read it to like tell me, because I just want to know. Like, it's not a spoiler for me. I need to know what kind of ending it is,
It's happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's different that can be different for different people. Happy can mean
that's true. Things. Yeah. I won't spoil anybody since this isn't in the Ravenous Dark, but yeah, I didn't like it.
You can message Dylan about it later.
Yes.
The ending.
I just see. I like how the poly was done in this book more so than like a book like in the Ravenous Dark, because it was so natural in this book, and it just kind of happened.
Mm-hmm. And I do think a lot of even that, like the sister weird ways they refer to each other, to me felt more like a like weird Catholicism thing than like a kinky thing.
Yeah, definitely.
No,
not weird.
It was just feel like it was stylistic choice by the author. Like, it was an interesting choice.
Yeah. But I do think I liked the dynamic. What I think I want more of is that it seems to me like a lot of books writing about polyamory have to discuss like yes, the three of them end up together, but like there had to be something weird about it, like something going wrong as well. Like it couldn't just, that seems to be a theme, but maybe I'm just reading the wrong books. But like it can't just be a happy polyamory from the get-go or like well established in today.
Like they always get together at like the very end. Like I wanted to see them like being a triad doing stuff together.
Yeah. I have Finders by, I can't remember, but that's kind of like
by Melissa Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been reading it. It's really dense. Like I don't think it's for everyone. It's a lot of like science, sci-fi stuff. I like don't understand what's happening half the time, but I'm still I find myself still wanting to keep reading it. And it's like the poly triad is getting back together, or this couple is getting back together with their long lost lover at the beginning of the book, and then the rest of the book is them like doing stuff. Yeah, so it's nice. But it's very dense.
Exactly, and I'm like the worst at sci-fi stuff, so I'm slowly going through it.
We're gonna convince you to love sci-fi one day. We'll do it.
No, it's so much.
Wait, so what? You said you don't really like contemporary either. So like, what genres do you really like?
I like fantasy, definitely. Like there has to be some plot, like a compelling plot, not necessarily a plot twist, but like something has to be happening that's more than like a.
Yeah, you're gonna hate my book when I eventually finish it.
What?
When I eventually finish my book, it is like literally the definition of no plot.
I will love it for you.
Do you like horror?
I love horror.
Me too. I want more polyam horror, man.
Me too. Horror thriller, but I've never seen a thriller like that.
I want more thrillers, more murder mysteries, cozy mysteries.
Yes. Sad shit. Yeah. Me too.
What other genres are there that we would like to see polyamory in?
Not contemporary. I'm over.
There's just so much contemporary.
I read a graphic novel called Sugartown. That was a contemporary. Yeah. I love it, and I feel like that would be
I
really
liked it.
contemporary.
Too short, though. It's my
Yeah,
I just want more.
I guess that's graphic novels for you, though.
I tweeted the author, and they tweeted me back, and I was like, "This is the best thing ever," because this has the best rap.
I like that one. It's cute.
Because they had such a healthy kink relationship. Plus, I'm getting way sidetracked, but
On that sidetrack, have you read Sunstone? Sunstone?
Wait, what?
Sunstone?
Sun-
It's a kink graphic novel series.
I have not. But
I read the first
more.
one. I read the first one. Yeah.
Ooh. I read the first like 3, I think.
Okay, cool.
And I think you would like them, KJ.
I'll have to.
Wait. So it's like starts out like female. Does another love interest come in?
Yes, I think so.
You know the gender?
Not off the top of my head, but I'll figure it out.
Yes.
I think it's kind of like in some different time.
Cat.
I'm remembering correctly. Yes, a cat is coming. Like I think one of them's ex comes in at some point.
Okay, that's what I kind of got from the first one. It seemed like
Yes.
Yeah.
But it does become like more of a kind of thing. I'll send you the Goodreads link.
Okay.
I am like going to order this immediately.
Did you find it, or do you need me to send it to you?
No, I found it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, really good kink positive stuff.
Yeah.
Like done really well, I think.
Speaking of kink
I'm not a
positive,
kink bitch.
it was interesting. I thought some of the ideas that were in this book of the blood play was really interesting in relation to kink as well. Like I can't speak I don't know how else to say it, but like I thought that was interesting.
What was I gonna say? It's gone. It's gone. Not brain empty.
Oh, so what polyam books are still coming out this year? Off the top of my head, there's the Ballad of Dina Caldwell. I think it's a YA, like kind of like murder mystery. I think it's female, male. I think it comes out this fall.
Iron Widow comes out soon.
What does?
Iron Widow, yeah, I have an arc for that.
Iron Widow, yes. What else?
There's anything else on my list?
I heard there's a YA contemporary. Was it Indestructible Objects?
Yeah, that one came out in June.
Oh, that came out. Okay.
Yeah, I think that I'm not sure about the polyamory on that one. I don't know if it's more of like just the main character realizing she's polyamorous and less of like actual like relationship.
Yeah,
I want to read it. I still want to read it.
But I'm not sure. I'm planning on listening to the audiobook this month.
Okay, cool.
If I get to it. So I will keep you updated.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, one of like my favorite series ever. I've been waiting on the third book for like a couple of years now, patiently, because I know we've had like 2020, like it was gonna release last year, but 2020 happened, and the author had some other like issues going on. But the Xandri Corlell series, Failure to Communicate. Yeah, I talk about it a lot.
I need to read them, but I think KJ will hate them just because she doesn't like sci-fi.
I can't help it.
It's like I don't know. It's pretty like, I don't know what the right word is. Like low key sci-fi. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. But I feel like a lot of the focus is on like the characters. Kind of. I mean, the polyamory hasn't really even come into play yet. The first one is just kind of like meet the characters, but it's obvious like who she's gonna get into a relationship with. There's Curie, a girl, and then Diver, a boy. And then the second one, her relationship with Diver, the guy, kind of develops a little bit, and that's as far as we get. And then book 3, I'm waiting patiently.
There's been some fantasy books that have had polyamory like as a background thing that's happening, which I have always found really interesting. But I think Becky Chambers is newest.
Oh yeah.
Has that?
So, sorry, what?
No, I think it mentions it in a background of like a triad or a family or something.
Oh yeah. So Becky Chambers. So I read her novella. Oh, what's it called?
The
Yeah.
yeah,
We don't know
it has a woman like floating in space.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like a quad going on. From what I gather, there's like a trans guy, and then there's like maybe like an aro ace guy. So the main character has a sexual romantic relationship with a trans guy, with the girl, and then like a kind of queer platonic relationship with like the aspec guy. And
to be totally
it's kind of subtle, and it's not like the focus at all. Like it's really subtle, but I liked that it was kind of like just there, you know.
Yeah.
That's the one book I read that felt closest to
unfortunate.
my experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
It felt like the book that felt most akin to my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a type of relationship that a lot of people don't realize when it comes to the poly relationship and a polycule is like within the Ravenous Dark. I think it can be argued that a character who is ace is part of the polycule. Well, everyone always calls it a triad, but I think it should be acknowledged that you could have the platonic feelings and still
Exactly. Yeah, like you're still part of it. I'm not really sure about the terminology, like what you call the different kinds of polycules, but yeah, like I consider it a quad, and to be taught fortunate, definitely.
Yeah.
Like we're like loose. We're a quad, but we have lots of open ends. Like we're a lot of queer platonic links.
Yeah.
And that it felt the most akin to that to me, and felt very familiar. But like, no thoughts, head empty.
Right. And even N.K. Jemisin's books, like it's just kind of casually thrown in there.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I have like, or kind of. So think about those books. Oh God. So like my mom texted me asking about them once, and I thought it was a friend texting me, and I responded like she was a friend, being like, "Oh, I don't really want to read those books because I heard the polyamory doesn't end well because I'm polyamorous and I don't want to read about that." And then she was like, she kind of just responded like, "Oh, so you only like happy endings?" And I was like, wait a second.
Yep.
Wait, that's my mom. She knows now. She knows about the polyamory now. I like came out. But at the time, I had like so much trauma with those books. I couldn't even see like the name of those books anywhere without being like,
I'm sorry.
So, now I'm like over it now. But I heard it. So that was what trilogy was that?
The Broken House trilogy.
Yeah, and then I thought I saw that she had like another series at Polyamory in it, but I have no clue what what it's like there.
I haven't read them, but I believe the 100,000 Kingdoms has like basically like orgy relation, like being polygamous. I believe.
That's good to know, Erin, because I feel like. Sorry, didn't mean to talk over you. I was just looking at this.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime I've heard it talked about by other people, they've called it a triad, and I'm like, but is it? So
yeah, I'm very untrusting when people give recs. I have to like confirm everything. I'm like, okay, are like the main characters the ones in the relationship? It's actual polyamory. Is it not just an open relationship? Does it end up with them all together, or I'm just very suspicious when people recommend me polyamory.
Yeah. So would you read anything else by S.T. Gibson?
I actually already have.
You have? Which one?
I have. I read Odd Spirits, which is another novella. I think it's a little shorter.
Oh yeah, I have that one, I think.
It was available on Scribd, which is where I read it. and it was really good. I enjoyed it, but it is not polyamorous as like just
Is
like
it,
a witchy kind of couple,
is it sapphic or male female or what?
male female. But
Oh,
the
queer though?
yes, the guy is bisexual, I think,
Awesome.
and I can't remember if the girl in the relationship specified at all.
Okay.
The guy definitely had a male ex,
Awesome.
who was like part of the plot.
You know who's coming out with one soon, or like in the next like 2 years, I would say? Rin Chapeko keeps like tweeting about vampire.
Oh,
Was it vampire
yeah.
bisexual or poly?
yeah, yep.
I keep waiting. I'm like, please.
I haven't read any of their they use they them pronouns, right?
I think
That's
so.
last
Yeah.
time I checked.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I haven't read any of their books yet, but I really want to read. I think it's Never Tilting World, and like one other one that was sapphic, I think. Yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of authors tweet about like possible polyamorous books in the future, and I can't keep track of it at all. But I hope it happens. Oh, and speaking of future polyamorous books, there's have you guys heard of Silk Fire by Z.R.
Allure?
Yeah, who were May the Best Man Win, the YA trans romance. Yeah, well, that's coming out next year. It's adult, fantasy. I want to say male, female, or something like that. I'm really looking forward to that one. Like whenever I hear of a new adult one, I'm like yes, because I feel like everything is just YA these days, which is great to have a lot of that representation in YA. But it's like I want that representation for my age too. You know?
Yeah, and I'm hoping that at least with an adult book, it's not going to be as like my main thing with In the Ravenous Dark is it's so blatantly like almost info dumpy of like I'm polyamorous and this is what polyamorous means, and I was
Yeah.
like, I get why you're doing this, but this really didn't feel good. Like it
I feel
just
like that works better in like contemporary, but in like other genres, it's like who cares? It's like a fantasy world. Like we don't have to like justify it, explain it. You know?
And it was dumped at like right after this gory, bloody battle, and I'm like, what? Like, why are we doing this right now?
Yeah, I like it when it just kind of is just like happens. It doesn't always have to be like all these like angst around it or all this like explanation. Like it can just be as natural as any monogamous relationship, you know.
Especially in fantasy.
Yeah, like it's fantasy.
See, okay, it wasn't just me because it was just like, why are we doing this right now at this moment in time? But I still want the Lumicrate edition of this book.
It does look very pretty.
I told my mom.
Sometimes I'll read a book that I'm kind of like meh about, but it's like queer or trans, and I want to add it to my collection anyway.
Yeah,
it's pretty or something. Do we know of
Erin,
any other? Sorry,
I was going to say, Erin and Maddie in the chat, if you have any questions for us about A Dowry of Blood or about anything else, please leave us questions. So I feel like we have quickly discovered we are not good at sticking to topic. So feel free.
ADHD.
It was also a really short book, and it was very straightforward. So
yeah, it's not like there's a lot of plot twists to discuss. But if you have any questions for us, please leave them while we're chatting away.
Yeah. Are there any other upcoming polyam books? Or have you seen any other authors tweeting about upcoming ones?
I feel like I see them and I like them, and then I forget they existed.
Yeah.
I really like the Never Tilting World by Rin Chapeko. So when they tweeted, I was like, yes.
I think also their other series. What was the first one? Only the first one's out so far. I'm gonna look it up.
The Bone Witch, but that's what.
No, the Bone Witch is done. Wicked as You Wish.
Oh,
That
yeah, that's
series-
the other one I wanted to read too. Yeah.
It's like super queer as a whole. I did listen to an audiobook and a lot of it went like real fast. I do want to reread it because I feel like I missed a lot. But I feel like there was lots of queer relationships in the background that there might have been something there, but it wasn't like front characters. But it was really good. I just read it so fast in an audiobook that I didn't take enough of it in. So my plan is when the sequel comes out, I will reread the first one with my eyes.
You know, thinking about Dowry of Blood, I'm realizing I really hated the Dracula character. Like, I did not find one redeeming quality.
That was kind of the point, I think.
Yeah.
I just feel like I would have felt a little bit more compelled if, like, I felt for the Dracula character. Like, if I felt there was some tension there. But, like, from the very beginning, I was like, dude, I hope you die. Like, that was my thoughts from the very beginning, and it never changed. Because that like
I feel like if it had been a little bit longer and had the chance to develop a bit more the gaslighting and abuse cycles that made the characters so invested in kind of staying there, it would have felt more compelling in that regard.
Yeah.
Like, particularly in that dynamic. But
that's definitely like an abusive top situation. Oh.
Yeah, but because you don't really get that time sitting in and dwelling in them living it and being like gaslit in those cycles, and dealing with that abuse, I feel like you don't really get enough of the development of why she's having a hard time breaking off from him, because it's not like there's not the love side of it built enough for you to care. He can go die.
I think you were spot on that. And like I really did love this book, so I'm not trying to like sit here and bash it. But I also remembered like my least favorite trope is the traveling trope. Like I hate when characters travel. I hate it. Like they're on a journey and then they just travel the whole time and there's nothing else but travel. And I feel like there was a lot of traveling here.
I feel like I haven't seen that trope enough to have like an opinion on it.
I feel like it can be like, it bothers me if it's all that happens, but I don't notice it otherwise.
Siege and Storm, that whole book.
I found Siege and Storm boring.
I hate Siege and Storm. That's why, because they're traveling.
I don't think it's the travel itself that bothers me. It's if it's just travel and they don't do enough character development or plot development during the travel. Like, you can make plot happen while you travel. But sometimes it's just a bit of second book syndrome.
I do like what Aaron is saying here.
Yes, I did think that was probably the book's strong point, is the way it like explored the different dynamics within the different personalities of the wives. But I still feel like I never felt any, like I didn't feel the drive of the connection for him. Like,
yeah, especially with Alexi, because the whole time we have Alexi, it felt like there was nothing there.
That is true. I guess I'm probably more used to the idea of abusive dynamics relying on a pseudo love, even if it's not love. That I didn't think of it only in the form of dependence and
excuse me.
But it does make me busy.
Did we like decide on the August book completely, or is it still like up in the air? And do we just like choose it ourselves, or is it like a vote? Or like our followers?
Well, I haven't announced it officially, but if we were all happy, I'm happy to just do it. Or we can run a vote if you want.
Yeah. So what two were we like deciding between? I don't remember.
I thought we
Honor Among Thieves and like one other.
I thought that one was. Oh yeah. I thought we went with Honor Among Thieves.
Oh.
I think we were also considering In the Ravenous Dark, but you and I can just read that in the meantime and just we can discuss it. It doesn't have to be.
We can add it, like slide it in under there.
What other books are on our list?
I have a little running one, but it's not got everything that we could read on it.
I was even gonna do Iron Widow soon since it's a new release. Like,
Oh yeah, when does that come out though? Does it come out in August?
good question.
I thought it came out in September.
Yeah.
I have an arc. I'm not sure.
I won't be able to get it till I can get my mitts on a physical copy.
Let's see.
I had actually not much on my list now that I'm looking at it. I want to read Pink Slip a lot.
Oh, I've read that one.
Yeah.
That
It was kind of okay to me.
thing?
What?
The Victorian thing, or
Oh, that
Oh, that
inevitable Victorian thing. That's another one that I'm like halfway through and haven't finished because I got into a reading slump.
that's
I read
not
that.
Not because it's bad. I'm really enjoying it. I just reading slumps happen.
I read that on my
Really
list.
liking it so far though.
I read it like 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I'm listening to the audiobook, so it's like
Me too.
I like the accents.
Yeah, we would have to wait for Iron Widow to be our October book because it's September 21st. Is
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to do this October. I'm just going to mute myself while I take a phone call, but keep talking.
Okay.
Bye, Cara.
So Honor Among Thieves is like it's a trilogy, I believe.
Okay.
Sci-fi trilogy.
Fun times.
Difficult for you. And it's like sapphic. I think it's like female, and then the third like romance is like with a sentient spaceship, which I find just like so intriguing, and I'm kind of surprised that I'm intrigued by it because I feel like normally I'm like, no, they all need to be able to like tangibly like, you know, like touch each other, like no sentient spaceship, that's weird. But no, I'm actually like, yeah, it sounds really interesting.
Aaron, right now we're doing Thornfruit is for July, and then we're talking about August for what would be after Thornfruit.
Yeah. And then probably September I'd be down to read second Thornfruit.
Yeah. I'm nervous for you guys to read Thornfruit and the trilogy because it's like my favorite, and I don't want to hear like anything bad about it. Otherwise, my feelings will get hurt.
I am so excited. I'm doing the tarot card readathon, and I didn't pull it, so I'm gonna have to read it like after I finish the tarot card readathon.
I might just be like covering my ears if you guys are like gonna say something bad about it. I have to be like la 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 la. But
I've already read it. But I am like I'm not very good at binging series because I have a tendency to get bored. Like,
oh my god, I am terrible at finishing series, even if I enjoy it. There are so many series I'll read like it'll be like a 6-book series. I'll read 5 of them in 1 month and then never read the 6th one. And just like, what the hell is wrong with me? But
I used to do that as a kid.
But with Thornfruit, I read all 3 in 1 year because I was like, I'm doing this.
I think
I can do over a year, but I can't do back to back. I tend to get bored of the same world if I binge a series back to back. So I have to like split it up a little bit, which is why I was like, let's take a month off and read something else. Yeah. But I'm very down to read the second one.
It's usually the 3rd one I have trouble getting into. Like I'll read the 1st and then immediately read the 2nd, especially since the 2nd one introduces Theo like in the very beginning, and I was already intrigued by him and like in love with him within like the 1st chapter. So I wanted to keep reading. But then, I mean, the 2nd one ends in a way that makes you like, oh, I need to read book 3 immediately. I put it off for a little bit though. I feel like I just put finishing series off because I just don't want them to end. And then so much time goes by, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't care about finishing it anymore. And I didn't want that to happen with this series, and I'm glad I didn't let it happen because I just love it so much.
I feel positive about that one. I feel positive about Honor Among Thieves because it's wrote by Rachel Kane, and Rachel Kane did Stillhouse Lake, and I like the Stillhouse Lake series pretty well. So,
did Rachel Kane also do the library one?
Yeah,
like conflating.
And like the Morganville vampires.
Yeah,
I read those for a little bit when I was young.
She died recently, didn't she?
Yeah.
Those are like compulsively readable, so I feel like this one's gonna be pretty readable.
It's big. But
what?
It's a trilogy too.
I believe it's huge.
It's 480
Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was any bigger than the average YA.
It's
The
480.
The
which
audiobook's
is-
like
480.
yeah.
That's fairly big, yeah, for YA.
Yep.
I think it'll be fine. If I'm struggling, I will get the
The
audiobook.
audiobook is on Scribd, so that's
Yeah.
fine with you.
So that's our August read. So, okay, no, I thought I might be camping and read it camping, but no, I'll be back by August. So, 'cause I tend to be really good. I read a lot of books when camping because no cell service, no social media. So I read, just read,
Yeah.
read.
So we have this month is Thorn Fruit. August we're doing. I feel you, Aaron. I am too. August we're doing Honor Among Thieves. September we're going to do the second Thorn Fruit, and then October do you want to set Iron Widow?
Yes. Cool.
You guys better love thorn fruit. No, I'm kidding.
I
really love Plothole. I
I'm
was going to say more about that before the live show, but I loved book one.
Wait, book one of what?
I gave it 4 stars, I think.
Wait, gave what, 4 stars?
Thorn Fruit, the first one.
Oh, wait, you read it?
Yeah, I read it like last week.
Cara read it in like the first week. She read that one, and then we were supposed to buddy read Malice, and I get a message like on the second day of the month, like I'm halfway through Malice, and I'm like, what?
I forgot that we were buddy
That
reading,
person,
and I
she
just
leaves you in the
I
dust.
I'd split my TBR up because I tend to prefer to switch genres and not stick in the same genre too much. And so I'd kind of done like a fantasy, a contemporary, and laid it all out and thought I was all good. Made sure I got everything that was for my TBR game at the start of the month. And Malice ended up being like book number 2. And then I remembered like halfway through that KJ and I were going to buddy read it. I was like,
I read 5 pages in it today. Like,
Wait, what's Malice? Who's it by? What's it about?
Heather Walter. It's the sapphic Beauty and the Beast retelling. Not Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty.
Haven't heard of it.
It is good. Paige loved it. I will say I didn't like it as much as Paige did.
I'm excited. But it also, I don't think it came up. Yeah, no, it did come up on my tarot card pull, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, talking about thorn fruit has got me thinking of Theo, and now I can't stop thinking of Theo and how much I love him. He's just awesome. Like, I think he's the first, like, character I've seen who's, like, a distinct gender, but also non-binary. Like, he's mostly, like, a guy most of the time, but he's, like, also non-binary and gender fluid, and sometimes is a girl. And it was just really nice to, like, see that kind of representation. And also, he's just, I love him so much. Like, he's kind of like snarky, I guess, you know, kind of like hides pain with humor type, if you like that. And yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Erin, we have no idea when the next live show will be because we are bad planners, but will probably be a similar time, like for us, a Sunday afternoon. But we're not sure exactly what week yet.
Like maybe the 14th, if that works out.
The 14th of what? Of August?
Of August.
I feel like that could work.
I feel like that'll probably work. But if it's at midnight, it should work, so.
What day is that? Does that fall on?
It'll Saturday.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I feel like the Saturday for you guys, Sunday for me is the best time. I could also wangle sometimes on a Friday night for you guys, Saturday for me, but I work like 11 to 1 on the Saturday.
Yeah, it's just during the summer that I have to get up at like 6 a.m. Once
Fridays
are again.
The second Fridays of the month, we have munches for TNG, Teaching the Next Generation. So
yeah, I feel like this Saturday, Sunday is the best. But yeah, so it'll be that kind of time at some point. Yeah. We will announce it on the Twitter.
Yeah. I am about to go because I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm so
push it back 2 hours for me.
When we went to the zoo, I got like a stuffy, but it has Yeah, you could
Yes,
definitely
100%.
leave it to early August. Sorry, it has like a heating element in it. And so I'm gonna go heat the little stuffy up, and it smells like vanilla, and I'm like, yes.
That's awesome.
I once got a bean bag that you could heat up that was like a panda.
Yeah.
But the beanbag was cherry scented. And never have I smelled anything worse to heat up as a beanbag in my life. It made the whole house smell like cough syrup. It was so awful.
Sloths are my favorite animal, so it was sloth shaped, and he is adorable. Actually, she is adorable because I named her Lavender because she smells like vanilla and lavender. So that's the whole thing.
Yes, cherry, gross.
Yeah.
Not a good fan. I love fresh cherries, but don't come at me with this cough syrup flavor. I'm not about it.
I love cherries. Now I'm thinking about cherries.
Fresh cherries are so good. I would live off fresh
there's,
cherries
like-
till I was sick.
There's like two types of cherries, and one is like they're like really red, and the other is like they're more yellow and red. And the second ones, the yellowish ones, are better. And I had them one time for like the first time in my life a year ago, and I have not been able to find them since.
Okay,
It's
I
driving me
think
nuts.
Australian cherries are maybe different. Our cherries are like a very dark purple with like dark red.
Yeah, those are the ones I've been having lately. I cannot find the other ones. Drives me nuts because those ones were really good, like even better than the dark purple ones. I will find them.
But yeah, then you can get like the maraschino candied cherries. Ooh.
I love those. I'm sorry. I'm all about the sweet stuff.
Can't stand them. And yeah, this stunk like sugared
Candy
cough
cherries? What are
syrup.
these?
The like ice cream cherries.
Yeah,
Ice
they
cream
put like on a
cherries?
Sundae. They're
No.
like bright hot, like basically
Oh.
hot pink. They're like
I see.
bright red because they're candied.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross.
Okay. I'm leaving.
Bye.
Bye.
We are wrapping this up. Yeah, you can go. Bye.
Wow, it's been an hour. Are
It
we
has
leaving?
been an hour. We will wrap it up there so that we're sticking to like an hour, which seems like a good time frame.
Okay.
For a lunch.
What time is it for you?
3 p.m. It's not bad.
Wow.
Um,
Barely is another universe.
yeah. Yeah. But like all the times that live shows are often on, like during the day for you guys and like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, like really awful times.
Yeah, and I stay up late anyway, so this is like no big deal.
Yeah. So Libby is Erin's dog. She's being bratty. My dog is literally asleep. Let me see if we can get her. There she is.
Aww.
This is Mika. She's having a snooze. But we will wrap up, and we're not very on topic today, but we will try and do better next time.
We did.
It was a good time anyway.
Bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.